Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. Today I want to show you my dust collection on my little Ryobi circular saw. This is a P506 Ryobi. It's part of the OnePlus battery system, so it's battery operated on a Ryobi battery. What I like about this is it's nice and small and lightweight. It has a 5.5-inch blade on it. It's battery operated and it's very light and mobile. But also, it has a laser light on it. So that laser light really helps me to be able to cut along a line very accurately without even having to have a fence. So this is my go-to saw 99 times out of 100 when I'm cutting up plywood up to 3/4 of an inch, because it'll cut through that stuff without any effort all day long on one battery. So what I'm going to do today is I want to introduce you to my dust collection system, these two plates here, and how they work on here, and then I'm going to demo what it is to cut this on a sheet of plywood. We're going to cut on this 2-foot wide piece. We're going to do a freehand cut with no dust collection. Then I'll put the dust collection on it and we'll do a cut that way, and hopefully on the camera you'll be able to pick up the difference. So let me move you in a little closer here. Whoop. That looks pretty good right there. You got to be able to see everything right there. And let's make this first cut. And watch how much sawdust, especially at the front here, because as that blade's coming up, it's spitting all that dust out this direction. So when I use this thing, if I don't have dust collection, you definitely want to put something over your eyes, or you'll be a face full of sawdust right in your right into your eyeballs. So let's make this first cut. I have this all set up. Before I do that, real quick, let's talk about this setup real quick. I'm using my 2x4 styrofoams. These are my little 2-footers. I have 4 of these. I have 2 set down at this end going this way, and then I have 1 set right here on the end, and another one right here on the end which goes to here. So this gives me support across the whole board no matter where I cut. What's important when you cut on a piece of plywood, even when it's laying flat, if I cut this piece of plywood over here somewhere, this piece on the right would actually buckle and bind the blade as you're exiting. And so that creates a problem, a binding problem. So I like to support these in such a way that when I'm done, they still set perfectly straight right where they were, because they're supported on both halves completely so that neither one will move. So because I had this piece here and this one here, when I cut down through here, then both halves of these will be supported in 2 places so that this will not buckle or move. I did clamp it down just for convenience sake, since I'm cutting on the extreme end to keep it from pivoting on me. But normally this is pretty much how you normally would set one up. No blade guard. So let's make this first cut. Right here, I'm going to do it freehand, and watch how much dust is coming out of this thing. And then we'll do it again after I set the guard and put it on there. Are you ready? So there's my light, and I'm going to follow my light on this line, and that should keep me pretty straight. So let's make this first cut. And watch the sawdust. Partway through it, I'm going to put my hand here for a moment so you can kind of see the deflection of all the sawdust, I think, that's coming out of here. It's a lot of it. Ready? Let's make this first cut non-stop. And if you look, there's sawdust everywhere, all over this thing. So it just spits it out wherever it wants to when it's like this. So let's clean this up a little bit. Of course, any sawdust under the underside, there's no way that dust collector will collect it. But you'll see this top side will be completely free of dust when I make this second cut. So let me hook this back up to my dust collection. And let's hook that up to our saw. And there's two pieces, as I said. So I'm going to pull the blade and retract it all the way. Make sure my guard here is locked all the way back. And now let's put the two pieces on there. The bottom one has 3 magnets on it. Only goes on one way. And once it's in place, it just snaps up in there. And there's no coming off. So only magnets hold that in place. So now we take the second one. And it sets in here like this. This little piece here deflects the front here. So all that sawdust being spit hits this and goes right up into the channel, comes out the back. So this is critical to getting most of this collection. So this goes in like so. And now it's in place, just like that. And now let's do the second cut. I'm going to preset the depth all the way to the stop, which makes it just about 1/4 of an inch below the thickness of the plywood. And let's make a second cut here. So, turn the dust collection on, and let's do a cut on this line. As you can see, there's very little sawdust. There's a tiny bit that came out, such a small amount. This thing collects 99% of the sawdust without any problem with this dust collector. Now, how does it work so well? Let's take a quick look at what I did, because I have made a quick change. Let me take the hose off. Makes it a little easier. It just fits into the hole there. And this is just a pre-made piece of pool hose. And I have an adapter so it fits onto my regular shop vac. And this is about 6 foot long. So as to give me some length here so that that cord doesn't pull on this so well. So anyway, the way it goes on there, it's all held on by magnets. So let's open this back up. Recess that blade. And let's take this off. So you pull it up, pull it out. You gotta catch it just right, and then you can take it out. And like I said, there's one magnet right here for this part right in here, and then a magnet right here connects it right in here to help hold the front down. And that's how easy it goes on and off. This little bin right here, I did use skewers in here and a lot of glue and the glue up to get this piece to be pretty sturdy. Same as this piece. Trying to glue that in here was a challenge. But that's basically what it looks like. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of face guard on the front down in here. Let me take this out. Then you guys won't feel so scared, nor me. So when you put that blade in here, it helps deflect any dust coming up from the saw blade and help push it, guide it straight up into the channel so that it comes out the back, and that's when it gets collected. So does it collect all the sawdust? No. I don't know any saw that really does, but it does a really good job of it though. It gets 99% of it very easily. And it's not very obtrusive. It's easy to put on and off. So there it is in a nutshell. That is my circular saw, and I now proved that cutting it using dust collection, this little dust collector works great. And you don't have to screw these things on and stuff like that. I just use magnets, and that's never been a problem for holding all these pieces in place. They never come off until I'm ready to take them off. Now, as far as it working on here, this saw, there's no dust collection on here at all. So I knew I had to bring my dust collection out this side like through here. Most circular saws, that's exactly what you're going to find. I also did a dust collection on my 7 1/4 inch Ryobi 1 Plus saw, and that one came out pretty much the same as this, but I don't find myself using it because when I use that saw, it's always outside, so I don't worry about dust collection outside too much. But in the shop, this is always my go-to saw, and 99 times out of 100, I'm also going to use this. But that's what I like about it. It's easy, quick to put it together to use. You don't need much of anything, and I can even freehand cut it without any problem, as you can see, because of the laser light. So this is by far my best saw. This really does enhances it to be able to do the dust collection also. So if you have any questions about this, I'll leave links to the other video. I have 2 of them, I think, where I started making this. And this is the most recent update since those 2, but I'll leave them in this, so if you want to go back and review them, you can. As far as making this, I don't know what to tell you, other than it has to fit that saw. So there's no template, but you follow the simple rules, and you should be able to get something like this made without any problem. Give me a contact, give it to me on my email, and let's take a look at it if you want, and I'll try to help you figure out how to do your saw when you get it. But if you got a saw that has a plate that's not magnetic, don't get worried. Just take magnets and either put a metal strip on the inside and glue that down to your plate that's not magnetic on the inside here, so that when you put your magnet here, it'll still magnetize to it. So you don't have to have a magnetic plate like this one is to still use the magnets to do it. I myself like being able to take it on and off without any tools. That's why I go with magnets. So choice is yours. It's your saw when you do it. Do it however you think. If you have any suggestions, any questions, any comments, leave them in the comments. I do read them all. If you like this video or you learned something here, hit that like button. Most importantly though, come back again, because I'm nowhere near done. Thanks, and I hope you got something out of this. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.